Listen, when you know this, you will not feel angry and disappointed when you ask God for things, because many times when you ask God for a bumper harvest, you know what God will give you? God will first give you a great farmland, a bag of seeds, wisdom and energy to sow, and he will say, here is your harvest. And if you don't know this about God, you will become angry and offended, because you will watch someone who sowed his seeds and now is reaping his harvest, and you'll be like, God, I want that harvest. And God says, that's exactly what I gave you. What I'm giving you that you are angry about is what I gave that gentleman. The difference between you and him is that this person recognized that contained within these seeds are the answers to the prayer. Are we together? God, give me an anointing, and he gives you the grace to pray. And he said, but I asked for power. He said, that's exactly what I gave you. He said, but what will I do with the grace to pray? I'm not asking you for grace to pray. I need power now to use for a meeting next week. And God says it doesn't work that way. I can help you and take away shame at the meeting next week. Go by faith. I'll be there with you. But to grow properly, I have granted you your harvest. Father, I want dominion. And he grants you grace to not sleep and snore your way through the night, and says, wake up and study the Bible. He's giving you the seed. Most people do not know how God answers prayers. So when they ask God for a harvest, your vision is seeing a great house, but the seed given to you will be a book of 500 naira. And God will say, I answered your prayer. The next time you say, Father, I've been telling you about this 5-bedroom flat. God will say, I gave you since January. And you say, God, but don't lie to me. I thought a destiny helper would just build the house and give me. God will say, that's exactly what I give you. What did you give me? He says, check your table. That dusty book right there is the seed that will produce that harvest. Listen carefully. I will tell you that many of you, God has answered your prayer. He's not about to answer. It's just that you don't know how answers come, and so you've thrown away the answers. We are going to be looking at the story of the wife of the sons of the prophet. Her answer was in her house. I can imagine the woman sitting in the morning and saying, look at my husband. You prophesied and died and left me with trouble. They're about to take my children, and the oil was knocking. Madam, look back. I am here. I can bail you out. The law of increase. Almost everything God will give you will come in a form that does not look like what you are praying for, but contained within it. Are we together? Yes. Oh God, give me wisdom. Then God gives you a good friend. And you are saying, but where is the wisdom? He embodied wisdom in one good friend and brought the person to you. You can push the friend away in search for wisdom, and heaven will be crying and say, you just lost wisdom of 10 years by driving Abraham away. Lot, I answered your prayer for increase by bringing Abraham. You pushed Abraham and went to Sodom and Gomorrah. Now your life begins to go down. Who is learning? Most believers do not have the discernment to understand how greatness and how increase occurs. I've seen a number of our people involved in poultry and involved in farming. We have a number of people here who are actively involved, and sometimes you'll be amazed to see when the little chicks hatch, you are watching the mothers that will have their own eggs too. Am I right on that? But at that point, they're old chicks. They don't matter. You ignore those tiny chicks and they die, and you don't have tomorrow again. There are many families who say, Lord, wipe our tears. And the answer is in the pregnancy of the woman. As that child arrives, God says, whatever you do with that child is your 30 years at a risk, or your 30 years as a blessing. And the woman throws away the child, the husband throws away the child. What are they looking for? Money, favor from government, politicians, and they throw the child that was sent as an answer. And guess what? Another person begins to train the child in the way of the Chaldeans, a way that is inconsistent with the blueprint of the covenant. And then that child who is supposed to be a blessing, by age 12 becomes an armed robber. And they go back and say, God, this was not my bargain. He said, well, you wasted your seeds. You asked me for greatness. I answered you in a child. Spiritual things never come in the form that looks like them when they arrive. You will need the eye of the Spirit to see. Are we together now? How will the Magi come to bow before a baby? They were not looking at a baby. We cried and cried and cried in our sin and ignorance. We could not help ourselves. And God said, you know what? The Messiah is coming. And all the people kept looking at the signs. They were waiting for a mighty man to come, to open the heavens and arrive with chariots. And while they were looking in Bethlehem of Judea, the answer had come in a little child. And while the whole world was hoping for a warrior who will defeat Caesar and Herod, only the Magi saw the star. They said, something has been answered upon the earth. Let's go and find out. Only God knows how the angels rejoiced when you were born. Only God knows what answer arrived on your birthday, that we are calling Joseph, that we are calling Mary. We call you Mary, God calls you an answer. We call you Mary, God calls you a prophecy. Are we together now? That there was a major problem with consecration, a major problem with power, a major problem with wisdom, with technological advancement. And while men prayed, God answered it in a man. He came to his own, and his own received him not, because they were discerning in the flesh. Let me tell you this. I'm digressing for a while. If many families understand this, they will stop the prayer they are praying, because the prayers were answered the day certain children were born. That prayer you see, God help us, take our family out of shame. God said, I have heard it. I have heard it. He answered it by bringing certain people. But because we do not have the eyes to see, we are still praying that prayer till today. For someone, you said, Father, reveal the next level of my life. And God manipulated your NYSC to make sure you came to Abuja. You walked it and walked it and walked it. You still arrived here. You know why? Because that is the answer to the prayer. There is something you will only find in the place of divine placement. Your uncle promised you that you will get a job in some oil company, and God brought you here. And now you are listening. The way of the Spirit is very strange. You have to be a spiritual man to understand how God unfolds the destinies of men. Are we together? For someone, the day you began to pray and say, God, fan this apostolic fire, he answered you by giving you the desire to be an usher. And you say, God, but I mean signs and wonders. He said, that's right. Apply to the ushering department. Because from the ushering department, one day you will become the prayer secretary. And from the prayer secretary, you will be in a vantage position that only that department would have allowed you to be seen. Trust the wisdom of God. The law of increase. Most believers are holding the seeds that are the answers to their prayers, but they do not understand how spiritual things work. There are many jars with oil in our homes while we are in debt, while we are crying, asking God to bring us increase.